1,000 miles from Moscow. Russian forces are in a 20-year fight against an Islamic rebellion.
There are murders, assassinations, and bombings virtually every day.
Back in 1999, a group of radical Muslims attempted to turn Dagestan into an emirate ruled by Islamic Sharia law. The Russian army stepped in and quickly stamped that out. But since then, this province, home to about 2.5 million people, has today some 3,000 mosques and growing.
It's 1999, and the war for Dagestan is raging. Russian forces are steadily gaining ground against radical Muslim insurgents, hell-bent on creating a small caliphate inside of Russia. But before I go into this story, let me tell you a bit about myself and how this information came to me. I graduated from the University of Chicago with a degree in anthropology, and my love for this subject was such that when I discovered cryptozoology, I was fascinated by the links between the two subjects. The sheer amount of information that is ignored by mainstream science, written off and even hidden. I mean, it's amazing. I was enthralled with the topic, and I've researched everything from Sasquatch to Loch Ness Monster, and more than anything, specifically, what I'm about to share with you, the upright walking canine, or as you call it, Dogman. Many of you are aware of Linda Godfrey's work, a woman who's tirelessly documented one encounter after another people have had with these creatures. But their existence is not limited to the continent of North America. They're found everywhere: Venezuela, Romania, Argentina, the Ukraine, and the single most well-documented encounter you've never heard of in Russia. Now back to the story. It's 1999, and the war of Dagestan is raging on. Russian forces are pushing into the area in the outlying villages in search of radical Muslim insurgents. Now, if you don't really understand the story, Google it. The Chechen Mujahideen invaded this area with 500 soldiers, a total of 2,000 throughout the whole area. These guys, death-dealing terrorists. Now, this type of stuff is not talked about in schools, and it's not really shown on American news, so you need to look at the Dagestan massacre. This will paint a clear picture for you of the chaos that was the War of Dagestan. 6 Russian POWs were beheaded, provoking a swift and strong response from the Russian government. In the days and weeks surrounding these incidents, skirmishes broke out all throughout the region. Some of the terrorists fled into small villages, relatively unknown places, small populations, killing and leaving death in their wake. One such place was Kusar, a dot on a map, a place of no significance. But in the days of the war, an incident happened there that I believe has never been talked about until this very day. In the face of the onslaught of the Russian military, several of the high-ranking Mujahideen members fled to Kusar, high in the mountains. And when the intel got back to the Russian government, they sent the special recon team into the area via helicopter to search them out. Now, when this team arrived, they found that many of the villagers had been murdered, others hiding. But what they didn't find was the Mujahideen fighters. The scout team radioed back and said they were planning on searching the area by foot. But that was the last transmission received from them. 24 hours passed, 48 hours passed, and another team was sent in looking for them. And what this second team discovered was shared to me via one of its members. When the second team arrived, the helicopter was still there, but the pilot was missing, and no one was alive in the village. They searched around the ridge lines and crevices of the mountain and discovered signs of a firefight. Based on what they saw, it was clear that their men had found themselves surrounded. But when they looked for evidence of what should have been insurgent forces, they found nothing. The team moved forward south along this little ridge, and there they found the first signs of what truly transpired: a torn and bloody vest, spent magazine rounds. The team continued to move forward until they came upon a cave entrance. This entrance, over 13 feet in the air, scratch marks along the rocks, blood stains, as if something or someone had been dragged upwards. As the team stood there in disbelief, preparing to scale the wall to enter the cave, they heard movement, and looking up, saw a creature. And it was described to me by the gentleman as follows. He said what stood out to him most about this thing was the size of his head chest and arms.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Waters Premium Content Preview. We hope you enjoyed it. Join us at www.iamdarkwaters.com to hear the complete story. Again, Dark Waters wants to thank you for listening. For only $3.99 per month you can gain access to the highest quality horror content. Now head over to iamdarkwaters.com, sign up and enjoy today.